Hail, 118 Shadow here. So, let's go ahead and get into today's market watch, starting off with the end of the year 2024 holidays energy card. So, this is an energy card that was presented to hobby game stores and I believe a number of different influencers in the Cardfight Vanguard space. So, it is incredibly limited and more or less, it's not very likely you're going to see very many of these on the market, and I believe each person who got it only got one copy. So it does seem a little bit strange given that if you're trying to max out on 10 energies of this, it is going to be very difficult to pick up all 10 energies of it. In any case, though, it is available to sell on TCG Player. Currently doesn't have any listings right now, but there was a sale on it for $100 already. Not outrageous, especially given that it should be incredibly limited. I don't know how many were actually issued. On the same topic of energy markers, there's also the sneak preview one for Omniscient Awakening, DivineZ 5, which features the younger Hikari along with Liael-Amorta. This one is around $5 right now and currently has 3 listings, with the base listing having 10 copies available. And this one has been selling for a market price of around $5, so I'd say that's pretty fair, especially given that it is a sneak preview promo. And being an energy, it's flare, but it is also Hikari. And on top of that, having a few copies myself, this thing does actually look pretty good. But all the listings available are $5 right now, plus shipping. And so just keep that in mind. And among the options, 2 of them have over 10 copies, while only 1 has just 2 left. Beware the Sneeze of Fireworks, which is one of Michu's support cards and a promo. Well, Michu is still a pretty strong deck to contend with, and the price on this card is still higher than it used to be, despite the fact that it's got a lot of listings back on the market. The regular one is 23 listings starting from $12, and the foil is $15 to start with 14 listings right now. When Michu had first gotten its new support with Sparkling Stars, which was DivineZ 1 for Lyrical, these were very few in number and were sellable even in the $20 range. Mine has been seeing a decrease in value slightly, considering most of its market price values are $12 to $15 with only a few exceptions, and yet now the base prices have been dropping off along with quantities increasing overall across the board. I guess there just isn't any deck right now of major interest to play Mine. Impaldo still considers it, but aside from what we might see with DivineZ 7, there aren't too many decks that actually look at Mine anymore. So it's a range of about $9 to $12, and then you've got the SP on the market for around $32, which is lower than its $36 market price right now. And then there's Blaze Maiden Rona. So normally when it comes to these vanilla triggers that came from the first generation of starter decks, I tend to just look at the SP when it comes to Festival Collection 2021, but it looks like there was also a buyout on the triple rare version of it too, which is also from the same set. So the base price on that triple rare reprint is almost $12.50 with 3 listings on the market, but the market price there is just over $6. The SP is also on buyout for $48 right now and a market price of about $28. And if you just want the regular common, that one comes from the Yu Yu Kondo deck, but that one has additional helper text, so it blocks off a lot of the artwork. It's still under $1 to pick up. The SPs for parts of Wilista's ride line, starting with the grade 1, we've got Proof of Hard Work, which currently has a lightly played on the market for just over $18.50 and a market price right now of around the same point. And we haven't seen more than 2 sales in the last 3 months, assuming that this is accurate. We have only seen 2 in the last month, basically. But over the last 3 months, we've definitely seen a whole lot more than 2. It sells for $16 to $19 for the most part, and the only 2 listings left. The only near mint one is just over $27. As for the grade 2, Expanding World, this one doesn't have any copies on the market right now, and has an increasing market price from around the $15.50 range to just over $17.50. And as for the history on this one, we've seen a few sales of it through from October all the way through January already, and they've been more varied at $15 all the way to $35. So Wilista's Grade 2 is definitely getting a lot of attention, and now we don't have any on the market. The thing about Wilista's ride line is that even with Wilista's unrestriction, this ride line gets used in a number of different decks, and it can be teched as one in decks like Kyrie or Petralka. Various different decks may consider this ride line in general. Overflow Happiness Nostria, which is Luticia's big support card from Lyrical Set 3, is still really expensive to pick up, with a base price of $40 for lightly played copies, but overall we're still looking at a $43 to $45 price mark on this card. And if you're wondering if this is actually selling, the answer is yes. Since October, we've seen $50 to $60 sales, which have been declining in December, but they're still selling around the $43, $45 mark right now. So Nostria is still moving despite this high price point. Then we've got the FR version of Two of Us Flow, which is the crit counter heal from Lyrical Set 3 as well. And as for this one actually hasn't seen a sale in 3 months, and we are looking at a market price of just over $20, with listings as low as 15, moving their way back up to 20. And we have 11 listings on it, so it's just not moving as much. I was talking about Hydralis last time, which is one of the big support cards for Liael-Amorta from Illusionless Stripe. And the thing that surprises me about that card being so high in value right now is that Amorta herself is not moving very high, no matter which rarity it is. The base one, the triple rare right now, is still an $8 price point, and it's got 24 listings on the market. Whereas the silver rare, which is next in line, still has 10 listings on the market, starting from around $16. Even if you go all the way up to the DSR, that one hasn't really moved in market price, where the base price is currently $280 and the market price is barely above that. There's also the new promo variant that you can pick up from the BCS, as long as you got the top score in the quiz that's issued in the BCS. There are no copies of it on the market right now, but it features Amorta with the wings on her head folded down to cover her eyes. And for anyone who's watching, I guess I'll zoom in a little bit to just give you an idea. This is what it looks like, which honestly it does look great, especially given that it's got the secret rare outlook, but ultimately I still prefer the original artwork in my preference. That's just my take. So there was a call out from the Penguin Dragon on this one on my last market watch, and so looking at Love Binding Maiden Margaret, right now there are no copies on the market for the FFR, which is currently at a market price of $23, but the triple rare still has listings on the market, and they're starting from around 5, which is close to where the market price is, 2 and 9 listings. So we haven't seen a massive buyout on this one yet, unless, let's see here. Oh, wait a second, no. Let's take another look at this. So that $4.93 that I mentioned actually has a $5 shipping tag on it. And so the lowest price on this card now is actually $13. And we move up and see that it goes up to $25. And as for the sales, well, we see one that sold 4 copies at $4.93. Just before that, there was a $12 sale with 3 copies. For the most part, they've been selling for $4 to $8, and then there's that random $12 one. So we'll have to see where this one ends up going. But I assume that this could possibly have something to do with Night Rose. On that same topic, where I think there's still some influence from Night Rose here, Sea Rumble Brave Shooter, which is the energy cycler from DivineZ 1, is also out of stock on its high rarity, which is the FFR, which has a market price of $42 right now. But the silver rare and the triple rare are both higher than their market prices right now. The silver rare only has 3 listings on the market, while the triple rare still has 14. And they're base priced at $24 and $30 respectively, with the triple rare being the lower one. If you're wondering why I have to say that, refer to lots of my other market watches. The market prices on the triple rare are around $18 to the silver rares, 22. And I guess just to be sure, $25 is the base listing, and we are consolidated around 28 for this card. And as for what it's been selling for recently, we've been seeing 25 to almost $30 sales, but only one that was actually 28. So it's moving. I assume Night Rose has to do with this too. And then you've also got Sea Strike Dragon and Largven. While this card is getting a reprint in DivineZ 6 and is getting a silver rare on top of that, the card is still moving back up in value from its base low of, I think, around $18. Given that the reprint happened, we saw the market price take a massive dive. Okay, so it never actually hit much lower than... So it's still holding on to the $25 price point. But if you take a look at the sales, they're still consistent from 22 to 25 with a slight increase upward, which again, I'm pretty sure has to do with the fact that Night Rose plays this. Remember, Night Rose and Harry, their Encounter Stride deck sets are coming this month. On the topic of deck sets, taking a look at some of the startup trial decks for the Divine series, I just wanted to see what some of their base prices were. And they're still up there. Dragon Empire is above $20 for the base listing. And so is Cater Sanctuary at about 23. Then you're looking at Stoicheia for about 22. And then Lyrical Monasterio after that for almost 24. So I didn't take a look at every single one of them, but suffice to say, these deck sets are still pretty expensive right now. On top of the fact that they only come with vanilla units, and this is the only deck, the Lyrical deck, that actually pluses off having vanilla versions due to one of the promos that you can get from tournaments. The other thing that definitely keeps the price somewhat high is the fact that you also get sleeves as a part of these deck sets. And I gotta say, from the smaller quantity I bought, these sleeves are very easy to use, and it's easy to pull cards in and out of them. So however they designed these sleeves was pretty good. And of course, the energy markers come with them, which are still around $15, $20. And even the Stardust Blade one has been running out of quantities and moving up in value. And the last card for today is Bard of Brave Instrument Corino, specifically the FR version. This is from set 13 and is one of Youthberg's best support cards. Currently has a base price of $9.50 for lightly played and only 4 listings on the market, with ranging prices from basically around $9 to $15, and there are more quantities on the $15 side. As for what they've been selling for, we're seeing $7 to $10 from the last month into this month right now. So this card is moving. And with the anticipation of Youthberg getting new support, it's no surprise. This card will more than likely see play in the new deck as well, given if Full Burst is still going to be the big card of the deck, this will definitely be necessary going forward. Thank you guys for watching. If you liked the video, please like and subscribe if you haven't already, and I will see you guys later.